this week, as well as, yes, more rain. This is the overnight rain. Showers clustering to the north and west round low pressure, and this massive cloud troubling us out in the Atlantic. That's heading our way. So if I just run our predicted rainfall this week for the next few days, well, you can see from the blues, we're all going to see some rain. Initially, the heaviest in southern and western areas, but I think by the time we get to the end of the week, most places will again have topped up, 30, possibly 40 millimetres of rain, and more than that, of course, over the hills in the west in particular. But the overnight rain still hanging around in eastern areas at the moment, so that's a concern on the saturated grounds of Aberdeenshire and Angus. And also we have flood warnings out for some parts of England across the northeast in particular. That rain does pull away from all but Orkney by the afternoon, well, except perhaps Aberdeenshire till early afternoon. And then it's sunny spells and scattered showers today, with blustery winds still near gale force for Shetland. That has been relentless, that wind, for the last 4 or 5 days. But for most of us, the winds will be briskest nearer the showers, which could be heavy with hail, with thunder, and yes, with sleet and snow for the Pennines, the Cumbrian Fells and the Scottish Mountains right at the top, but just a hint of what's on the way. Overnight, we should see an easing in the shower activity with a ridge of high pressure, but only temporarily. We've got more wind and rain on the way. So in that temporary calm, we'll see some mist and fog and some frost across Scotland, much of central and eastern England. Temperatures pick up though in the west later. Why? Because of this next complex area of low pressure. It is, as I say, troubling us. Low pressure anchored to the north and west, but if we see this area of low pressure developing to the south, that's the predictions. We could have some very lively winds pushing into southern parts of the UK, as well as that rain. That rain tomorrow as well looks as if it's going to be a feature for Northern Ireland, for Wales, for southern parts of England. The question is how far north it's going to spread. Whilst we hang on to brighter weather with a few showers further north, we'll be pulling in some cold easterly winds for a time, and that means the increased risk of some showers, wintry showers over the hills. But this, the prediction for England's match in Qatar tomorrow, and slightly lower temperatures into the evening, but still dry for Wales's match. But back to that cold air that I talked about. It's the first significant cold snap of the season across Scandinavia, and that easterly wind will feed that cold air into Scotland. As these weather fronts bump into it, that's when we get that question mark as to how much snow we're going to get, primarily over the hills and in the showers. But it's obviously going to be an ongoing risk as we go through this week, as that cold air embeds itself. Tuesday, perhaps a drier spell of weather for some of us, bar a few showers. But guess what? The wind, rain and Atlantic weather systems are back by the time we get to midweek as well. So again, it's an unsettled looking picture. Roger and Rachel.
Well, thank you for all of that, although I'm not really thanking you for the weather. It's pretty grim around the country, isn't it? Thanks, Helen.
Just been jealous of everybody who's out in Doha for the World Cup.